This is a short video about my teacher who has drawn very beautiful mandalas and has inspired me to find my own style. He says, to be an artist means to speak up, sometimes beyond what concerns the own person, beyond political parties. The politics of the day often don't go far enough. The artist leads to existential questions, and above all, the asking of questions is more important to him than the answering. We all need, all of us, we are all equal, and need the love and responsibility of every one of us. For wherever one stands, one is no longer a foreigner, but at home, as a citizen of the world. After all, we all contain our own future at any given moment. Weak people need groups in order to distinguish themselves from others. To me, it is important to have friends from all walks of life. We need independent personalities, not herds. The sense of life is to live. The time has come to share my art, to talk to you through my mandalas. Johannes Frischknecht. What is a mandala? It is a source of strength. It is a center that we are for ourselves in the universe. No black hole, but instead a source of light. The mandala is an equilibrium between inside and outside. You and I, between past and future. Traditional mandalas are an initiation, actually not really paintings at all, but divine palaces in which the pupil meets the deity and learns to identify him or herself with it through the initiation. Roughly following this principle, you were created as an image of God. Learn to remember your divinity and learn to get closer to it. However, are no traditional mandalas, but they show a dimension that is important in the East as well as in the West, namely the dimension of wholeness. In both cultures, people experience the fragmentary character of everyday life. Mandalas lead back to wholeness, to the actual meaning. The philosophical background is obviously different though. You shouldn't restrict mandalas to what is visible of them on paper. My heart is a mandala, my body is. Our earth, the universe, is a mandala, and the silence is. Everything I do and don't do is mandala. Silence. The ultimate mandala is the blank page. The situation before birth. The silence before word announces duality. The being before it is thought. The space before the elements come into existence. The timeless moment before past and future. Mandalas should be grasped and experienced as a whole, creatively. Interpretation hinders this process. Words are never more than patchwork. Mandalas aren't aesthetical creations for hours of edification. They get to the roots, ask questions in a radical way. With answers, they take their time. Like the blue from the depths of the sea, healing energy rises out of the center. While painting a mandala, you find your way back to a circular form, with no up or down. Oldest democracy, all are equally distant from the center, from power, from love, or are equally close to it. Mandalas are a storehouse of energy. Mandalas are batteries with soul energy. When you spend time looking at a mandala, something radiates back, even long after. Simplicity, modesty, and humility are not virtues. They are not a matter of morals. When we carefully feel our way into life, they awaken in us. When I paint, mandalas become whole and simple, become modest yet strong. During difficult times, when the spirit is driven into a corner, sometimes an opening can suddenly appear. Back to the source, it flows again. Mandalas are like the chlorophyll in plants and trees, visual sources of vitamins that feed and harmonize us. Mandalas are compositions. We see musical vibrations and hear the colors and forms. Mandalas are spiritual images. They lead us back and bind us to our source. They ask for the meaning of the whole. All is in all. In all is all. Mandalas radiate a power that causes something holistic to begin to pulse in the observer, feeling the ground of reality with our bare feet, finding a way back to the origin. Sometimes the painter is struck. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's only a tool, an earthly being who touches the earth with his feet while striving individually toward the light, like a tree. Submerge yourself in the landscape of a mandala. Drink deeply, a sigh of relief, in the blooming gardens. Seek shelter in the dark caverns. Touch limits. Grow into your own consciousness and discover your roots. Drawing a mandala is a leap into the void. Being fearful at that moment is nothing to be ashamed of. Fear confronts the fiercest warrior with hidden layers of his own being. Mandalas are a celebration for the senses, a rest for irritated and gorged eyes. Forgotten senses awaken to new life. Mandalas require independence and responsibility. The center of the picture finds its reflection in the observer. The power to be a part of life grows, as well as the courage to live that life. I asked Johannes to sign the book, which he did. Sorry for the English translation. It was done obviously by somebody who doesn't speak English that fluently, so it's a bit peculiar. But I still hope that you got an understanding of what a mandala is.